It's November the 14th, and this is your Pacific Palisades Real Estate Market Update. I'm James Respondek with Rodeo Realty, and I've sold hundreds of homes to generations of Palisadians. Here's this week's important market activity. There are 295 properties on the market in the Palisades. Of those, 204 are land listings and 91 are existing homes. Since the fire, basically all this year, we've sold 373 properties. 299 are land listings and 74 are existing homes. 54 properties in escrow right now. Most of those are land listings. Let's go to the Alphabet Street land listings. This week's important market activity. There are 11 properties on the market right now. 73 have sold. 11 are in escrow. Okay? The average price per square foot is $287 a square foot. Above the Alphabet Streets land listings, 21 properties on the market this week. There are 14 that have sold and 1 in escrow. The average price per square foot up there, $243 a foot. That's a little less scientific because there are some properties that aren't all flat. It's really the all flat that counts in these things. So just sold 1271 Monument Street. Here's an example of that. See, this sold for $1,230,000. Wow, $170 a foot. Almost 7,200 square foot lot. Now, why is it so inexpensive? Because not all of it's flat. It's an uphill lot, but it's still close to the village, and you'll have some views. You build it right, it'll be a little more expensive, but look at that, $1,230,000. I like that buy. Just listed 1424 Chautauqua, listed for $1,300,000. Same price again. It's 8,600 square feet. It's another classic example. Not much of this is flat at all, but it does have really nice views, and it's a cool location because it's at the very top of Chautauqua, so a nice and private little spot there. And $1,300,000. Again, cost you a little more to build there, and you won't have much flat. 1303 Marinette just sold. This is the other end of the spectrum going on up there. It's listed at $6.5 million. Why is that? Well, it's almost 27,000 square feet, but again, not all of that's flat. A good portion of it is, but not all. And it does have plans for a nice big house on it, but 6.5 feels ambitious to me. We'll see what happens. Let's go to the Medio Bluffs land listings this week. 30 properties are on the market. 48 have sold this year. 3 are in escrow. The average price per square foot up there, right there, just over $300, $303. Just listed 15321 DePaul Street, listed for $2.5. Now this is 8,150 square feet. It's on that rim section of DePaul that looks down into the park. This is the kind of Swarthmore end of that, so it's not quite, I think as you go down the canyon there, you get a little more open views. So this one might be a little pricey, coming in at $300. I don't know. We'll see what happens. 321 Lombard just listed, and that's listed at $3.5 at 6,400 square feet approximately. That feels rich, coming in at $547 a foot. Okay, we'll see. Just sold 15303 Friend Street. Just sold for $3.4, a little over $3.4. A 10,250 square foot lot, big lot. Okay, and that sold for right around $333 a foot. So in the trading range, maybe a tad on the high side, but not bad. Anyway, just sold 15444 DePaul Street, sold for $1.1. Wow, why is that? Well, it's not that big. It's a little under 4,000 square feet. It's kind of on a little uphill part there of DePaul. It's not crazy uphill, but you know. Sold for $1.1, but what a buy. That close to the village, I love that buy. 429 Via de la Paz just sold for $3 million. It's an 8,550 square foot lot, coming in at $351. That's getting closer to the bluffs there, so as you get closer to the bluffs, the prices tend to go up a little bit. 701 Radcliffe just listed for $1,700,000-ish, and that's 8120 square feet. I'm going to guess maybe 6,000 of that's flat. It's on the rim side of Radcliffe, so you do look into the Temescal Canyon there, so you get a little bit of a view, but you also get a little bit of the road noise from Temescal, so maybe that's a trade-off. And just sold, 15419 Via de las Olas, sold for $4.1 million. Why so much? Because Via de las Olas is the front row street there of the Village Bluff. So beautiful views out there. And that lot was 7265 square feet. Let's go to the El Medio Bluff land listings this week. There are 12 properties on the market. 19 have sold this year. One's in escrow. The average price per square foot, $299. Just sold, $16055. Temecula sold for $1,443,000, and that is a 5750 square foot lot. That's coming in at $250 a foot. So right there in the trading range. You know, it's not as close to the bluff, so it's going to be a little less than the average, but we just sold here 516 El Medio sold for $2,475. This is coming in right at the number, $301 a square foot. That's a 8171 square foot lot. 516 is, you know, about getting close-ish to the bluffs, but not that close, but on the closer side. Let's look at the El Medio Bluff single-family existing home properties this week. 2 properties on the market up there. 4 have sold. One's in escrow. And just sold 701 El Medio. Actually, this is the El Medio Bluffs. So not up there. It's right there on the bluffs. 701 El Medio. This house, really nicely done, traditional. Not new, but very, very nicely kept and a good house. I like this one. And that's sold over the ask. It was asking $3,950, sold for $4,100. There you go. The market finds itself. That's a 3,500 square foot house on a 6,700 square foot lot. Now we're going to go to the Upper El Medio land listings this week. 12 properties on the market. 9 have sold. One's in escrow. The average price per square foot, $190 a foot. Okay, and just listed 16101 Alcima, listed for $1,500,000. That's a 6,300 square foot lot. That is an uphill lot, and yep. This week, activity in the Upper El Medio existing homes is 5 properties on the market this week. One is sold this year, 1 in escrow, and just listed 16177 Alcima, and that's listed for $2,400. That's a house, remember. There's a house on this, and it's not a big lot, 4,800 square foot lot, and a close to 2,000 square foot house. Oh, this house is kind of unique. You walk up to it, and then it's kind of got this interior courtyard that the house is built around, so it's got a kind of almost European-y feeling. Now, the floor plan is a little funky, but, you know, $2,400, and it's got some views, and if you like this kind of thing, you might find it interesting. Just sold, 1053 Maroney Lane, sold for $2,750, an 18,000 square foot lot. Wow, nice lot. Most of this lot was flat, and it's a little over 2,000 square foot house. So you get a house, you get a really nice lot, $2,750. And I like Maroney Lane because it's got its own little vibe in there. It's like its own little canyon. And just listed 1006 Las Pulgas, listed for $2,400. This is an 8,100 square foot lot almost, and it's a 1,900 square foot house. This house is nicely done with a kind of nice little traditional flair inside, so it's good. $2,400, all right? If you want a done house in there, it's not too bad. And right there, didn't feel too burny. You know, you go on the way around, you know, on the way up and on the way out, it can be a little bit that way. Let's look at the Huntington Palisades land listings. There are 9 listings in the Huntington right now. 25 have sold. Wow. And 4 are in escrow. Average price per square foot of lots in the Huntington, $434 this year. Just sold 574 Chapala. That's a 15,000 square foot lot. So that is a big lot for the Huntington. And that sold for $6,335,000 or $421 a foot. So you can see right there on that trading range, that price point. Maybe just a little bit less because you get a little economy of scale as the lots get bigger. And then we just listed 724 Toyopa. That's an 8650 square foot lot listed for $3,950 or $459 a foot. So this one's a little bit on the upper side of the price range. And this side of Toyopa is just one house from Sunset. So, you know, that might be a little on the high side. We'll see what happens. 725 Alma Real, a 7,000 square foot lot listed for, check this out, just over $3 million, $3,050,000. That's coming in at $436 a foot. So it feels a little on the high side, but still, you know, as the lots get smaller, maybe the price per square foot gets a little higher. Now this backs up to the tennis court, so maybe there's a little bit of an adjustment needed for that. Let's look at the Huntington existing homes this week. 1 property on the market, 9 have sold, 1's in escrow, and we have 3 sold. So let's look at these. 219 Chautauqua. I'm just going to say this, 219 Chautauqua and 14800 Corona Del Mar. They are contiguous, so they border each other. I believe they were sold to the same person, or it feels that way. And let's start with 219 Chautauqua. That is almost 29,000 square foot lot. Huge lot. Not a huge property on it, like 1850 square feet. Sold for $10.5 million. So it's primarily the land there. I kind of had a cool like mid-century house on it. And then we have Corona Del Mar sold for $16.5 million, and that is 25,500 square feet. Now that had a decent sized house on it, almost 5,700 square feet. And it was kind of an interesting house. Also just sold in the Huntington. These are some big numbers for the Huntington, so it's kind of nice. 211 Alma Real. This has a little story. This sold like a year ago. Well, no, at the beginning of last year for 20, and it just resold for 22,610. Okay, 22,600, let's say. Now they did do a little freshening up to it, and you know, nothing major, I don't believe. That's 9,200 square foot house, very kind of French country, well, not really country. It was a French style house with a huge basement. I mean, gigantic. Nice views across the canyon and down to the ocean. And the lot is 25,000 square feet, 25,500 square feet. Most of that was flat. All right, let's go to Rustic Canyon existing homes this week. 5 properties are available in the Rustic Canyon right now. 11 have sold this year. 3 are in escrow. And just listed, number 7, Latimer Road. I like this property. 4,200 square foot, really nicely done house with a guest house, a beautiful pool, and the tree, the old oak tree in the back of this house is like just so beautiful. I love it. I love it. It's listed for just right at $12 million. The lot's huge, 27,500 almost. Big lot. And Rustic Canyon right there. It's close to the tennis courts, so tennis anyone right across the street. Handy. Okay, just sold 800 Green Tree Road. Sold for $10.5 million. It's a 5,360 square foot house. Beautifully done house. And, you know, it was built in 2004, but they have just refreshed it beautifully. So it's a great looking house on a 12,000 square foot lot. Sold for $10.5. Let's look at Santa Monica Canyon existing homes this week. 15 properties on the market in there right now. 23 have sold this year. 4 are in escrow. And just listed 275 Amalfi Drive, listed for 4,250. This is about a 2,150 square foot house on a 6,900 square foot lot. Pool, really nice views, right next to the stairs that like lead you down into the canyon. So it's, and you don't even know they're there. There's a big hedge in between. That's one of the cool things about the canyon. If you don't know about them, check them out. It's one of the cool aspects of Santa Monica Canyon. Also, Santa Monica Canyon happens to be one of my favorite areas in the Palisades, or Santa Monica, or the west side for that matter. Just sold 546 East Rustic Road, sold for $2,940. That's a almost 2,000 square foot house on a 63 square foot lot. And this house did have some like interesting kind of level changes and stuff in it, but Santa Monica Canyon is such a desirable area. Active, just listed 237 Mayberry Road. It's just listed for 4.3. Now this is a really interesting property. It's got nice views across the canyon. It's built down the hill, and it has a lot of different things going on. It's got a very interesting main house with 2 levels. And then you go down another level and there's like a guest apartment. You go down another level, another guest apartment. So you've got a little compound there for $4.3 million. It's funky, but it's cool. I like it. Let's look at the Riviera single family existing homes. This week there are 31 active listings. 19 have sold this year, 1's in escrow, and just sold, 1600 Castellammare Road. This was a beautifully brand new built home, 9,000 square foot home with killer views, and the lot is just under 14,000 square feet, sold for a neat $18 million or $2,000 a foot. I really like this house. I really liked it. It's a good one. Okay. Let's look at the Las Casas Loop land listings this week. 7 properties on the market. 4 have sold this year. 3 are in escrow. The average price per square foot of land there, just over $200 a foot. And just listed, 533 Marquez is listed for $1,750,000. You know, this is a 6,000 square foot lot. It's coming in at $292. You know, Marquez there can be a little funky, so I don't know. I think this price point's a little ambitious. 617 North Las Casas, just listed. Now look at this. Now here we are, $1,250 or $214 a foot. Now they're priced to sell. That's a nice price point. Okay, let's go to the Marquez Knolls land listings this week. 53 properties on the market. Wow. 45 have sold. 10 are in escrow. So it's very active in the Marquez Knolls. And the average price per square foot there, $180 a square foot. Just sold, 16767 Marquez Terrace, sold for just under $1,600,000 or $200 a foot. So right there at the trading range. That's right on the corner of Marquez and Jaycon. I think it might have had plans or conceptuals on it. That's a almost 8,000 square foot lot. Just sold, 1183 Lockman Lane, sold for $1,650,000. This is on the uphill side of Lockman, so it's not on the rim side. So you will get some views, but you look across the houses, across the street, and that's an 11,000 square foot lot. Not all of that's flat. You know, I think at $144 a foot. Now that's the gross, not just the flat. Yeah, I think that was a decent buy. Let's look at 1046 Enchanted Way, has just listed, and that's listed at $1,990,000. That's an 18,000 square foot lot. Maybe 7,000 of that's flat. Does have really nice views. So $1,990,000 might be a touch high, but I think it's right there. It's pretty close. 16611 Pequeño Place, sold for $1,260,000. nice buy, I think. It's down at the bottom of the cul-de-sac of Pequeño. You'll get some views. Not bad, not bad. That's $116 a foot on an 11,000 square foot lot. Again, not all of that's flat. Got to remember that. Oh, now here's a nice buy. 16748 Edgar Street. Look at this for an entry level. Sold for $926. That's not that big. It's 4,750 square feet. Sold at $195 a foot. But you get into the market there under $1 million. That's a buy. 16616 Maryvale Lane. Just listed for $2.4. 8669 square foot lot. It's on a corner there of Maryvale, so you will get some views. And that's coming in at $276 a foot. Might be a little, might be a touch high. Maybe that should be a little lower. 1103 Lockman Lane, listed for $2.4 million, 11,000 square footer, and that's coming in at $214 a foot. So that's not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, and finally 16638 Charmel Lane. Wow, this seems pricey until you know this is Charmel Lane on the really epic view side of Charmel. So you get epic views out there. Really nice jetliner views. Now this is listed at $3.8 million or $400 a foot. So, you know, you're paying double for those epic views, but they are epic, okay? Let's go to the Marquez Knolls existing homes. 6 properties are on the market this week. And we have 9 that have sold this year. 2 are in escrow. Just sold. 16866 Charmel Lane. Sold for $4.4 million. I do remember this house. You go up Charmel, it's almost at the top on the left side. This is a very nice feeling house. Beautiful backyard and views back to the hills. Yeah, this is a nice setting here. This house, 3,600 square feet, very nice shape on a 19,000 foot lot. Not all that's flat, but a good amount was. Let's go to the Highlands land listings this week. There are 16 properties on the market. 17 have sold this year. 1's in escrow. The average price up there, $110 a square foot. So fabulous value in the Highlands right now. Just sold 17177 Avenida de Santa Ynez. I'm sorry, I think it's Avenida de la Herradura. That sold for $835. Wow, or $88 a foot. I mean, I can't get over these numbers. What a buy. That's 9,500 square foot lot. And now just sold 1622 Chastain Parkway, sold for $1,475,000. Wow, that's $136 a foot. This part of Chastain does have nice views. And 16826 Calle de Serra in the Enclave. That's the very top, the gated part. That's probably the best of the estates parts up there. Sold for $1,500,000 or $121 a foot. This is a value. This is a value. Just listed 16738 Via La Costa. And that is listed at $1,895,000 or $137 a foot. And just listed 1579 Calle Patricia. And that's a 6,250 square foot lot. So it's a little smaller lot. And this particular lot has a narrow frontage and then it pies out. So I'm not, you know, it's not an ideal shape, but you know, you do get a lot out the back. But it's only listed for 1.1, okay? But if you look at price per square foot, it's $176. So you get into the area, but you don't get a big property. And let's look at the Highlands existing homes this week. There are 17 properties on the market. 11 have sold this year. 2 are in escrow. And just listed 1699 Avenida de Santa Ynez, listed for $1,995,000. Now this property, it's dated, and I'm not a fan of the floor plan, and the backyard's all pool. So you know, but it is under $2 million. We'll see where that goes. The just sold 17273 Avenida de la Herradura, sold for $2,360, and that is almost 3,000 square foot house on an 8,000 square foot lot. Okay, it's not a bad value. Let's look at the Castellammare existing homes this week. There are 9 properties on the market. 2 have sold, 1's in escrow, and just listed 17763 Sabiadora Way. Listed for $4,750,000. This is a 3,000 square foot, very nicely done house. Great common area, the common area rooms, the living room, dining room, family room, fabulous. They all open out to wonderful outdoor areas. It's a big lot, almost 9,000 square foot lot, and it does have horizon views of the ocean. It's really nice. And listed at $4,750, so it's close. It might be a touch ambitious there. 17632 Ravello is listed for $1,950, and that is a 2168 square foot house on a cozy 35 lot. But it does have some views. It'll need some work. Let's look at the Sunset Mesa land listings. This week, there are 6 properties on the market. 25 have sold, and 1's in escrow. And just sold, 3649 Surfwood Road, sold for $1,275,000. It's a 7420 square foot lot. This one again has a little narrower frontage, opens out at the back. You do get some views, not huge, but you get into the area for $172 a foot. The average price in there is $184 a foot. Just sold 1844 Clifftop Way, and this sold for $1,003,000. Okay, Clifftop Way is the last street up at the top. This has some views. It's 6,300 square feet, $1,003,000 or $207 a foot. It's in the trading range, so it's a decent buy. And then lastly, 18348 Clifftop Way, also sold for $1,003,000. Now this is on the corner. This may have a little more views because you might sort of tuck between some of the houses in front of you there to open up a view. And that's coming in at $198 a foot, so a little bit less. That was a 6577 square foot lot. Now lastly, but certainly not least, Malibu Beach land listings this week. There are 26 properties on the market at the beach there. 20 have sold this year, 5 are in escrow. And just listed is 21506 PCH. That's at La Costa Beach, okay? That's listed for $7 million. And it's an 8,000 square foot lot. More importantly, it's a 50-foot frontage. It's the frontage there that really counts, and how much dry beach there is out the front. And that's coming in at $140,000 per front foot, okay? For La Costa, yeah, that's probably close. Maybe it's a touch high. Just sold on Carbon Beach, 2 properties side by side, 22030 and 22028. They sold for $7,900 and $7,400. They are that was 45-foot frontage and a 35-foot frontage. So we're looking about $180,000 square a front foot there. Now Carbon is that's what they know. It's known as Billionaires Beach. So that's pretty nice beach there. They were selling originally these lots for 50-footers for $5 million in the beginning. So you can see the price points creeping up a little bit there. 19144 Pacific Coast Highway, just listed for $2.9 million. That's a 30-foot frontage or $96,000 a front foot. Might be a little on the high side. We'll see what happens. I hope this information has been helpful to you. And if you're looking to find your perfect property, I see more property on and off the market than probably just about anyone. Or if you're thinking of selling, I've navigated my clients through some of the toughest of markets. So call me, I'd love to help, and I'll see you next week.